Hey there everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Paint Party Livestream. I am so glad to be back in the studio with you. I was gone last week, so it's really great to get back to the easel and to have you along. If this is the first time that you have joined my live stream, it's real simple, very laid back. You can participate in the conversation anywhere where you're watching through the comments on whichever platform you are watching us on. I do enjoy interacting with you throughout the live stream, so feel free to ask questions, to make comments wherever you're watching us. Otherwise, this is my Learn to Paint process. A couple of years ago, I started teaching myself to paint, and we are exploring this process every week here generally on YouTube, but syndicated across a variety of platforms where I basically paint and learn and do it all publicly with you. So this week we are doing something a little bit different, something that I haven't done before, but I'm super excited to jump in to the project we have this evening. So let's go ahead and get started. What I'm going to do is switch my camera view, and then I'll explain what we're doing and put up some reference photos in the right hand side of your screen so you can follow along with what I'm painting on my canvas here. Let's jump in this evening. Hey there, Lola. So good to see you. So good to have you on the live stream as always. Glad to be back in the studio with you after absence last week. It's good to be painting again. I haven't had a lot of chance to get into the studio, and so I always say I'm going to make more time for it, and the time just slips. So good to be here this evening. Glad to have you. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take my other camera and switch it around so that I can show you my canvas. This may be a little bit more difficult because this is a 10 by 20 canvas that is 20 inches long, and so I don't know that we'll be able to get, I may have to back up quite a ways to get the full canvas because I didn't think about that necessarily till just now. I wonder if I can, and I can't zoom out anymore, so I physically will have to put my camera at quite some distance from the canvas, but that's okay. All right, now let me show you what we're doing this evening. I am, for this painting, going to do some experimentation. In the last several live streams, we've been focused on building up the proper value balance and then building on that to create the painting. This time we're going to do something a little bit different. The values, of course, will still be important so that it renders correctly, but I'm going to try to do a much more looser, more kind of in pseudo-impressionist style painting. I want to paint some of the references that I took this summer in Europe. And so I picked out one that was really interesting to me, and I'll show you what we're going to do, and then I'll explain kind of some of the things that we will do to make some adjustments to the composition. All right, this is actually, let me show you without the lines on it. This is, oops. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? Here we go. There it is. It's this boat. This was taken downtown Lisbon on the water, right there along the pier. There's a river that goes out to the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean. And this boat was, or a couple boats were just parked right there. And I thought this one was so interesting. So we're going to do this this evening. But let me actually show you what we're going to do. So we're going to use this reference with the grid on it. What I want to do, though, is, now that I'm looking at it, what we really need to do is to yeah. I don't want to do that. Never mind. I was going to slide up that pier and put it right at the center, and then make the water a little further out. But I think we may do that anyway. We may take the pier out or put it further back in the composition, because basically what we want to avoid is the large sizes of the same, or basically the shapes on our canvas being the same. So I don't want two halves that are basically water sky. I want one to be larger than the other, I think, to improve our composition. So let's just get this started, though. And we'll start putting some paint on the canvas, and we'll kind of jot in our composition. I'll also be taking some of these things out. So let me switch you back to my canvas. Welcome to those of you that are just popping in. So glad to have you. Like Lola, you can participate wherever you're watching by commenting there on whatever platform you are on. You're welcome to ask questions or to make suggestions as we go along. I'm so glad I see more and more people coming into the live stream. So glad to have you along. All right. So let's see here. And we'll start kind of, you can tell I haven't toned my canvas, but I did put the grid here. It's just very light because it's kind of an off-white. And what I want to do is put in the major composition. So we'll just start doing that. We'll just put some, we just need to get it started, and then we'll kind of adjust from there. Okay. So we want to bring the boat kind of out this direction. And I think I want to bring the I'm going to try this. I want to bring that dock kind of this way. Maybe we bring the boat out a little bit even. We'll have to adjust this since we're doing some major adjustments to the and I just realized that I didn't do I did not change the dimensions of the reference photo to be more realistic. So we'll just kind of do that. We're going to see how that works. Something like that. Then we'll have, I think we're going to put these, because we definitely want this boat to be the main subject. So we'll put some of these, I think I want to put the dock actually back here somewhere. And just make that very distant. Push it way back. Then we'll basically put another, maybe another boat. We'll see. Or maybe I want to put the trees over here. We'll see. And we'll make that. This will definitely give us a perspective because we're much, so then the foreground will take up the majority of this painting. And we'll just have to adjust as we go to see what looks correct and what looks weird. I'm curious what you all think so far. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't put my apron on. So when I started the live stream, I was like, there's always something else I do or say. Because you kind of get used to after, well, this is, I think, episode 96. After almost 100 of these, I kind of have my little spiel and what I say and what I do and how I change my cameras around. But then I forgot to put on the apron. I was like, we usually do something else before we dive right into the painting. Kind of threw me off a little bit. What I want to do with this painting as we go in, I'm stepping back a little bit just to see if there's anything that I see offhand I don't really like about the composition. What we're trying to do really is I want to evoke the feeling that I had when I was there. So that's why I am saying I'm going for a more pseudo-impressionist style, because I really, really want to I want to feel that, how that was, how it was when I was there and what it felt like. So, and I'm not sure exactly how to do that. One of the times that I've done this well, I wish it's over on the wall. Actually, are you guys fine going for a little walk? Let's see. Let me take the camera, as long as I'm going to try not to make you all sick. Okay. Let's go. Oh, I can't go too far because I have a microphone attached. I forgot. So on the wall over here, if I can go that far, is my painting of Machu Picchu. Right there on the wall. That painting is not very photorealistic. And my goal with that was to evoke a feeling. Sorry if I'm making you sick. We'll get this back on the... Okay, we're done. Let me go back here. And it was to evoke a feeling when I was there. And so that's kind of the style I'm looking for. Not so much that it's photorealistic, but that it evokes that feeling of what it felt like when I was there in Portugal. So, yeah, that's what I'm going for. So let's see. I think the thing to do is, when in doubt, start with the furthest thing away. So let's start with the sky. And again, I want this kind of just very, I want this very, impressionist. So it doesn't need, I mean, it obviously needs to be some sort of blue, but we want the impression of that. So let's see what we can create. Blue. It was a warm summer day, so I want it pretty bright, probably brighter than even that. Brighter than even that. I don't know. Let's see. I wonder what would happen if we did gold in it. So we're doing a blue and a little bit of gold in this. Obviously is a more green. So, ooh. And it's very dark once I get it on the canvas. So let me actually do this. And I'm just playing around now. Let's see. There we go. We will have more of a golden green sky, which may make it look like it's more almost sunset, which would not, or sunrise, which would not be terrible. Let's just see what happens. You can always change it. Perfect. Okay, we have kind of a, whoops. green and gold. Now, going to just play with colors a little bit. Because I am going more for feeling. Doing kind of a taking a little bit of kind of a purple. We'll brighten and lighten a little bit. Probably shouldn't have started this because I need to put in the water, but we will actually do that with the same color. We'll have to see how this goes. we'll figure this. Yeah, we'll figure it out. So I want to do a really, almost really bright, almost a turquoise. So we'll just come in there. We'll see what happens. I never knew how to mix turquoise, but I learned this week. It's a little tiny bit of yellow, some phthalo blue, and white. That gives us a really kind of that vibrant almost. And you'll notice the brush strokes I'm using, again, this is almost an undercoat, will be kind of those almost mimic waves. This will bring us closer. Just as we do more layers, that should bring us into the foreground. We'll do a little darker. Hey Rosa, welcome. Glad to have you on the live stream. I understand that feeling. When I started a couple years ago, I didn't, and I still am learning, like I said, about mixing. Makes me nervous, but I have learned some different techniques and things that make it easier. But I'm always looking to expand my understanding of color theory and everything so that I can do a little bit better. So that's kind of what happened this week. Because before then I would buy a turquoise paint and try to the other thing that I'm going to do intentionally is kind of oversaturate some of these colors just because, again, I want a very surreal feeling where it's just like, I want almost it to feel like if someone sees this painting to be like oh, I wish I was there, and almost like that even if they were there, they wouldn't believe that they were there, if that makes sense. So I'm doing more blues and turquoises and less of the actual green that's in the reference photo, as you'll see. But I think I'm going to take this up here, go in and mix a little purple with it, and start oh, that was an unfortunate event. I want to kind of start I don't know, that may not work, but I think we're kind of getting it, what we're going for. So I'm going to let me step back and take a look. Okay, I think I'm going to now kind of look at this. I'm wondering what color I should do this. Because back here I've used kind of a purple for the wall, but I'm wondering if I should do a real like magenta, kind of a cooler purple. Let's just put it in and see what we like. Again, we're just experimenting, right? Sometimes, as Bob Ross says, you get happy accidents. What do y'all think? Will this work? It looks like it's underwater. Yeah, actually, I see what you mean. Because it's kind of, because it's diluted, the color's diluted, it's darker. So it kind of looks like there's that layer of turquoise on top of it. That's what I have to kind of play with this a little bit. I'm going to let it dry. A little bit. I'm not convinced that I like the color of the sky. Kind of want to go play with that a little bit more. I mean, the green is okay, but I wonder if it should almost be a more gold. I think I do like that a little bit more. Kind of bright gold. And we can suggest some clouds by making it brighter down here. Then we can take it darker up above. We can I'm going off camera, I know, so let me bring that down there. So you can kind of see what I'm doing a little bit. I kind of want to get the right colors and the right composition, and then I can go back and do a once I have the right colors that I like, then I can refine it and do some more kind of interesting brushwork. At least that's my thought. This really was a magical time can't remember if this was my first day in Lisbon. Might have been the first day. We walked all the way down to what's called the Baija, which is a Portuguese word for the lower part or the lower portion, but it's basically kind of the downtown, old town. And it was, at least I think that's where there's a big kind of port space. And so yeah, it was quite wonderful. So I'm doing kind of a golden brown color on the top. Bringing in more brown, darkening it, and then bringing it more gold, diffused gold as we come down. Just the more layers. It's really sticky, so I really need to let it dry before I do some of this, or I should have used a medium to make it slide more. Yeah, this is turning into kind of a sunset scene more than or a sun, yeah, probably sunset then. So what we want to do is take this, then because it's so vibrant, we want to bring that into our ground, reflection of the sky. Now we need it to be more green yellow as it gets further away. So we'll diffuse some of that yellow. Yeah, so this is almost more of a kind of almost a fantasy color tones. So that's what we're going for. Now, Now here we want to really diffuse this and cool it down a lot. So bring in some red, brown, and magentas to kind of cut that green color. At least that's what we'll attempt to do. We'll see if it works. Yeah. Okay. I don't know how this is going to end up, but I'm kind of liking where it's going. And it's totally different from what I usually do. So that's what is kind of fun for me, is I get to explore other things. That being said, I want to, excuse me for reaching in front of the camera, but I want to bring in some reds for sure. Because red is of course complementary to green, but I don't want like Christmas tree feel. I want very much this kind of Mediterranean feel that we have going. So first I'm going to step back and take a break and take a look. That's fun. Let's see. I don't know. Let me put some red out here. What is going to the brown? Maybe darken the red but not desaturate it. Probably brown. And I have some raw sienna and burnt sienna. I bet that will work because that'll be more orange. Let's try it. Let's see. Let's play the game, y'all. Because I don't want to take it purple. But I also don't want it to be Christmas tree. I want it to be kind of dark, almost rust. So that works. Okay, let's go here then, this color, and start to put in Okay. We just lighten it a little bit, same color. We just give it a little shadow in the water. Because it's sunset, we give it a little bit of a longer shadow. All right, we're about an hour in, and I think I like what's happening. I want to do a little bit of, not sure exactly, just, it's almost like when you were a kid and you color, just kind of coloring and seeing what we come up with. I am doing just some work there on the bottom. I don't want to darken this too much and lose kind of the whimsical, fun like feel, because it can still be beautiful and not be correct, like, so, or not be the feeling I want. But it's all part of the journey, in the sense that I started by imitating other people's work, like tutorials. And then I started using my own references and trying to do as photorealistic as possible. And now I'm really trying to explore other, tying color and seeing if I can create a feeling in a painting. But I think because there is a process, like there, it's all essential. Like I needed to learn how to, like I needed to learn some skills, but then now I need to decide when do I and how do I break those things, skills that I've learned, how do I break that how do I break that or when do I decide to break the rules of the things I've learned? Going for a cooler color here because it's in the shadows, but it has nothing to really to do other than shape with what I'm doing. What do you guys like so far? What do you like most about what's going on, and what do you like least about what's going on? Because I'm really curious to hear your perspectives. Because I wonder if Love the yellow on the top of the water. Yeah, you're talking about right in here, the reflection. I am pretty pleased with that as well. I may put some more like shadows back in here as it recedes, just so it feels like it's a little further back. But um, yeah, I'm still not sure what I'm going to do with this to show it's like a pier and not I don't know that I need to show it's a pier though. I mean, it could be the line of the could be the line of the I think I'm diffusing that too much. The dock needs more color. Okay. What are you talking about? This dock on the left-hand side? Because I haven't gone back to that at all. I agree. Do you think the purple works? Should I just take it darker? Should I take it lighter? Should I do something different? This is turning into a different painting than I had imagined because the sky, that yellow in the sky has taken so much oh, I never put my thing out. Sorry, y'all. The sky has taken so much of the attention that this is kind of secondary, which is okay, but I'm not sure that's the direction I want. I mean, it's a different painting when the sky is so vibrant, and then this is kind of just a bit player to the sky. where I wanted this to be the focal point, but I'm not sure how to change that without, just changing the sky mostly to kind of a sunny looking sky, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm not sure quite how to handle that. Would love any thoughts or ideas if you have them. I don't think it's bad either way. It's just a different feeling at sunset than it is where it's that where the boat is kind of the star of the show. Of course, I could paint both of them and just I could paint another painting that's kind of the same. Ah, you think it looks like sunrise? That very may well be. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Need to, oops. with this kind of painting, I feel like I'm starting over in a sense, because it is so much diverted from the reference that it feels like, and I know because I've been here before, the only way to do it is to go through it, but it still is, once you kind of get to a place where you feel like you know what you're doing, it's hard to trade that back in and do something different and explore something. But I guess that's part of the process of, quote, being an artist, is always, I hope, always pushing yourself to try something different or to learn something different. I'm stretching this out. Obviously, I put a very dark layer in. Lola, you were mentioning needing more color. Once this dries, then I can come back and put some highlights and some more kind of, well, maybe even as it's going, give it some texture. Excuse me. Oops, that's too bright. I'm sorry for coughing in your ear. I don't have any water right here in my station. Often I do, but this is so much fun to just kind of play around with and try different things. It's fun to try to create something you haven't done before. See what happens, especially when there's a high chance that it's going to be a hot mess. Notice here I'm lightening slowly the lightening the texture or the values. I want to kind of think this should then look like the sun is coming up from that side. That's the goal, at least. I'll have to mess with that a little bit because I kind of messed that up. But or it's either coming up or setting. But if we can keep our values tight, then we should be able to come in here just a little bit. I'm not sure. I'm doing some messing around in the sky. But I'm not sure. Kind of. We'll just keep playing. See what happens. We can carve in essentially can carve in some really beautiful things in the sky. There. Because we can make it more a little bit. That's kind of what it looks like without the bright light. But I like the dark. Again, this may take us more to sunset than sunrise, but I suppose it all depends on your, and if you've been to Portugal. I can't remember which direction, if this was actually west or east. Because when I was at the water's edge, it was midday, as you see in this. My guess is this is east because it looks like the sun is over our shoulder in the reference photo. So that's my guess, is that, so Lola would be correct. This is probably a sunrise. Oh, this is not, because it's dried. It's hard to blend acrylics once they dry, because you're basically painting over a another layer, basically. So you kind of want to but I think as long as we keep it light enough, because this really soft purple is really pretty, I think. If we keep it light enough, it will look like a sunrise. I don't want to mess up my sky, because going back to put going back to put the gold in is going to be a challenge. So I don't want to mess it up too much. I want to put a little bit of this light above so that it's, then we'll come back to our darks. Whoops. Again, sorry for getting in your camera angle. I've gotten kind of bogged down in this, haven't I? No, I think I've kind of messed it up, because now it feels like really diffused, but we'll keep playing with it. I do like the yellows and purples. I just am not sure about the balance. So I like that. But I just need to play around with this a little more, as always. It's coming back to that feeling I want, though. I really like the turquoise and the purple and yellow. It's just kind of starting to work. Like the color scheme. I need to fix some of this because it's a little too bright now. But I do think that, yeah, I think it kind of works, or it is, it's working. So oh man. Oh, that looks terrible. It's so hard when we don't, when I can't blend. problem is I don't want just all these fingers of clouds coming in, which is kind of what it's starting to look like. So I need to figure out a way to do this without creating that, but still having this beautiful purple yellow blend. Hi there, Mom and Dad. It looks like night now. Yeah, it does. I'm not sure if it's just because I put in the purple, because there are obviously purple sunrises. Do I need to switch it back? Am I bringing the sky? Am I, by putting the contrast in, I know that I'm going to have to, maybe that's what I should just do now, is kind of just diffuse the distinction between sky and land, so that it's not as definite a line. Maybe that will help a little bit. Sorta. Not sure. Again, we'll kind of keep playing. It still looks like sunset though. Not sure how to fix it. I'm kind of messing up. Ugh. But not totally. I'm going back to, oops, I forgot the, this may ruin this, I don't know. But I want to take that turquoise again. Oh, that's too purpley. So we need some more, a little more yellow. Definitely that green hue. Yeah, I love the I should have done the masked the very last thing. I know I'm taking the yellow almost all out of the water, but I love the turquoise, that bright turquoise, almost Caribbean turquoise. I kind of like that really vibrant blue on the horizon, and then we can go back and add the yellow, of course. Does that help at all as far as change it from night to day? Does it at all look like it's a sunrise? Maybe it is that on the water. Maybe it is that reflection that makes it look like a sunrise. I'm not sure. Got about 10 minutes. I'm kind of messing around down here, adding a few details to the, not really even details, just some more. Well, I am gonna pause right there. It's basically almost a, not monochrome, but it has like purples and yellows, purples and blues and like turquoise. There's not a whole lot of variety, so I think that's the next step. But it is 5 minutes till our ending time, so I think I'm going to call that good and keep working on this because I like the composition overall. I need to clean this up a little bit because the perspective looks off. Or maybe I may take that out completely since I took out the wall and the trees and stuff, and it looks like it's just extended out into the ocean. Maybe we just take that out. That's something that's very probable to do. So let me take those. All right. And I will switch my camera around so I can say a proper farewell. This is fun. I would like to do more of these. I want to do, mostly just selfishly, I want to do several paintings from my, I know we worked on Mont Saint-Michel a few months ago, but I want to do several paintings from my time in Europe. That way they are, I guess, kind of almost like a mini collection, mostly just because I want memories. I wanted to paint memories. So this is where we are right now. Really happy with it, especially because I didn't really know what I was going to do when I started, and I still don't know how it's going to end up, but I think it will be a fun one to do. So, and the fact that it's long and narrow is kind of a really fun, different kind of canvas size I've never used before. So that's where we are. If you can see, or kind of, once I get it out from under the light, you can kind of see where it is and where it's going. But I do think I need a little more color and some variety, since the sky is purple and this is purple, and that's not necessarily bad, but I think we could introduce some more colors and give it kind of a pop of color. Anyway, that's where we are. I want to say thank you so much for joining me on this, the 96th episode of the Paint Party Livestream. I will see you next week, same time, Monday night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Until then, I hope you have a great week, and I will see you on the next show. Take care, everybody.